I, 19M, have started to resent my friend who came out as a trans man, 19M. We were close. He came out about 6 months ago. He has been taking hormones for some time now. He has cut his hair. He wears men's cloth. I want to be supportive and I know he is happier this, but every time I see him, I feel this gut punch that I can't really describe. I have started to become really irritated around him. It makes me want to push him away and snap at him. Every time I see him he becomes less feminine and more masculine. I don't understand it. I have mostly read about trans women and I get that and I can understand when, but I really don't get why someone would want to be a man. I really need to fix this. I don't want to ruin our friendship. He is a great friend and I want to be able to support him through this. Does anyone have experience dealing with something similar? Too long did not read. My friend came out as a trans man and I am reacting very badly to it. I don't know why people are saying that you might have gender dysphoria, kinda a stretch. Maybe you are mourning the loss of your old female friend who is now transitioning to male and becoming kind of a new person. I remember when one of my old acquaintances started transitioning to a man, his best friend told me that she felt that her friend had died even though her friend was still very well alive but is now a very manly looking man. She went through a period of mourning basically. I suggest dropping your experience in r.ask transgender. Lovely people there who would understand and help you find a way to deal with it. Talk about it with your friend. Could be subconscious attraction to the female, feminine version of your friend, so when the feminine looks went there wasn't much else to keep your desire to stay close. Also agree the guy who said it could simply be the big change, which not a lot of people may know how to handle. My best friend in high school transitioned, FTM. He started taking hormones late in college. Perhaps what you're feeling is shock. It's tough to see someone change so drastically from what you have always known them to be. I wasn't surprised when my friend came out, as throughout our entire friendship he valued masculine characteristics and talked about his identity issues. Not sure if that's the case here, but if you didn't discuss this beforehand and he came out and transitioned quickly, it could just be shock. Definitely reach out to the other sub-pages others have mentioned because understanding why people transition may help you come to terms with the change. For being trans myself, I will tell you, just because the person changing physically and becoming more masculine, which is the purpose of testosterone, doesn't change who they are. They are still that same person mentally they were before they started the transition. Except, more confidence and happier. Maybe there is something underlying bothering you? Well, it's not like he gets to choose what he is. But why do you feel it's weird or whatever that someone would want to be a man? I get that there's a lot of misandry going around these days. But aside from the toxic side of male culture, there's nothing innately wrong with being a man. Where do you think these feelings you have stem from? Maybe you're grieving the loss of your friend as you knew them before. While his appearance might change, remember that all the things that make them a good friend are not defined by their gender. They'll still be a wonderful person regardless of how they look. I also recommend you talk about it with him. Be very clear with the fact that you're 100% supportive of their transition and that you care about them just as much. Tell them you're having problems with these emotions and that you want to be able to get past them so you can be as supportive as they deserve. I don't get why someone would want to be a man. This might be more of a personal issue. Have you faced problems as a man that would make you rather be of the other sex, to the point that you can't willingly comprehend why someone would cross from female to male? Girlfriend thinks I'm cheating. So my girlfriend, 20F, is obsessed with the idea of me, 21M, cheating on her. I obviously don't do that, yet she claims that I do. Today she demanded me to show her all my text messages on every platform I use, so she can see for herself if I'm cheating or not. I did show her everything and surprise, there was nothing of concern. I got a lot of insults thrown at me the last few days from her, but this one was really humiliating. What do I do? She's cheating on you, ask to see her messages and accounts. She doesn't trust you, she insults you, she makes you feel humiliated. Why do you want to be with her? Are you waiting for her to hit you? I see people saying that it's an indicator that she may be cheating. And it may be. But that aside, even if she isn't cheating, that's still manipulative and controlling behavior. And it will only grow worse over time. If I were you, I'd break it off. She obviously needs mental assistance, I would run lol. Cheaters do this all the time. They want validation for their shitty behavior. Give her your phone on the condition you can see hers at that moment. Guarantee you'll see something you won't like. Never, ever again consent or cooperate with this nonsense. From her or anyone else. The only answer to, "I want to read everything on every platform you use," is, lol no. Does she have borderline personality disorder? Those of us with it tend to hyper-focus on things that could lead to abandonment, such as cheating. I've been there. It's painful for both partners. One feels as you do. The other feels emotional torture because even if it didn't and doesn't ever happen, it feels to us like it did. But with BPD there are a whole lot of other signs of it other than the baseless accusations. If it's just the accusations, it's possible she's feeling guilty for having cheated and is placing that on you. Jesus, this all sounds familiar. Get away fast. Ex-wife is pregnant and reached out to me to tell me the other guy is abusing her. Advice? Edit. Guys, I have no intention of getting back together with her, taking her back, or even wanting to help her. I sent her links to the rescue, tries to contact her family, and they told me to cut her off. The only reason I want to help her is because she reached out to me as the last resort, and I don't want to spend my life in regret if anything serious happens to her, knowing I could have helped but chose not to, which is why I made this post. I'm gonna send her money via her friend before telling her this is all I can do and she shouldn't reach out to me unless it's urgent. I'm looking for helpful advices without judgment, so please hear me out. This is a long post, so I apologize. Too long, did not read. Is at bottom. Me, 31M, and my ex-wife, 29F, were married for 7 years, together for 9 before she cheated and left me for the other guy. Our divorce got finalized in March this year. The other guy is a playboy jerk who's probably 24-ish. It began from the end of last year, and in January of the current year, she tells me she wants a divorce. I found out they've been talking for an entire year before it turned physical last year, October. Divorce was smoothish as we didn't had any kids. She got the car, I kept my house and finances. After this, I was out of her life, she was out of mine. We never contacted each other except for 1 or 2 times. That too was when we saw each other when public. Her family is very conservative and they basically cut her off after she cheated and divorced. She moved in with the other guy. During this time, I found out she also lost a lot of friends as the other guy tried to hit on them or insulted them. Her ex-sets of friends tried to get me involved in their fights, immature AF. But I included this part because these set of friends were the one to stand behind her after she had an affair, telling me she found herself and I should probably let her go. I don't harbor any resentment towards her or the other guy. I didn't get involved with anyone during this period because I was focused on my job and earning back my money which I lost on divorce. Here's where I need help. 2 days back, I get a call from one of my ex-wife's friends who told me my ex-wife wanted my number. I changed it after divorce. She didn't say much when I asked her why, and told me she needed to talk. I thought it was important as, mind you, we never had any contacts, so suddenly her wanting to talk to me created a sense of seriousness for which I tell her to give my number. Yesterday my ex-wife called. She sounded very creepy, for real. She didn't had the voice she used to, but it was broken. You could sense something was wrong. So I asked her what's up and she broke down crying. Went on from telling how great things were to how are things now. So the other guy is a manipulative and alcoholic boss who cheated on her multiple times in their 7 months relationship, put her in charge of finances which meant her getting a job, and she's pregnant. Now he doesn't wants to be the father, so he's telling her she cheated and he's abusing her, she has no place to go and he wants an abortion if she wants to be together. I asked her why did she call me instead of police. She told me she has nowhere else to go. None of her friends are willing to help her out and that boss got friends in the department, so she's scared if things go around. She can't contact her family because they don't want anything to do with her, so she's alone. Listening to her made me sad, it really did. I told her I can sympathize but can't do anything else because I don't want to be the third party. I told her whatever relationship we had with each other is over and she's on her own now. Why should I stand up for her when she's no one to me? Besides, they're a couple now. They're dating, and she's the one earning, she has the upper hand. I gave her advices to save funds and run away silently if she doesn't want an abortion. It was a 17 minutes call and she basically wanted to talk more, but I told her I was busy and cut her off. She did mention she was sorry to treat me and leave me. I honestly don't care about that. I told her to contact me only when it's necessary because I really don't want to hear from her no more. Yesterday night I gave a deep thinking to it and felt I should do something because no one deserves this kind of abuses. But I don't want to get in between because getting in between will blow up my own peace. I'm looking for advices if I can do anything to help her out. I called her family and they told me they want nothing to do with her because she is already dead to them. Too long, did not read. Ex-wife cheated and left. Now she calls to let me know she's pregnant and the other guy is abusing her. She wants help. Anything I can do? Find a help center, text her the link, then block and ghost. This is tough because I understand that you are a decent person and want to help, but there is literally no way this doesn't blow up in your face in a major way. Maybe you can call the friend who reached out for your number and ask them why they aren't helping out. You have already called her family. Kind of feel that's the extent of what you can do. Not your monkey, not your circus. If you want to help her, give her an address to a shelter. Don't let her back into your life, cut her off and have your peace. If you don't, she will constantly guilt you. Even use the fact that she's pregnant to get back into your life, then suck all the benefits she can and what? Let you play a father role to the kid or sue you for child support if you let her back in? She made her bed, now she gets to lie on it. Again, get her into a shelter, they will help. There are ways to help, but don't do it directly or having communication with her. I would give her advice on a shelter or somewhere to get her life together, block her number, and move on with your life. As much as it may suck, we have to own up to our own mistakes, and at this point she's trying to burden and manipulate you. I know you were together for a long time, and I know at one point she probably meant the world to you, but there's nothing you need to do for her at this point. You need to continue to have her removed from your life and continue to work on yourself. Her parents likely respect you. Give them a call and tell them that her boyfriend has her pregnant and is physically abusive to her and she needs her family to help her. Maybe that will encourage them to launch a rescue of her. That is all you should do. She is no longer your problem. She could go to a shelter or something, but she's chosen to reach out to you because she thinks she can manipulate and use you. Block her and never look back. Ignore her, bruh, not your problem. Do not respond. This is not your problem. If you take her back, then she will only cheat again. Block and get on with your life. I, 33 male, think my girlfriend, 32 female, is in the starting stages of an emotional affair. My girlfriend recently made a friend in the gym she attends. He is 32 male and is engaged. And he is a gamer too, which is an important detail. 1 week after meeting him, suddenly my girlfriend bought a gaming console, and this is a woman who has never played a video game in her life, but now she is gaming 2-3 hours every day. Okay, it might be a coincidence, but she has also been spending a lot of time on her phone and almost always turns her phone away from me. And she is a lot more secretive with her phone too. She even carries it with her to the washroom, another new behavior from her. I asked her jokingly that it seems she has found a new boyfriend and I am feeling ignored, but she got offended and said she is allowed to have male friends and this is someone who has a guy best friend with whom she is very close, and I never had any objection to that because he is a very good guy. But this situation is giving me a bad gut feeling. So what are my options here, guys? Do I confront her directly? Do I just let it go? Do I talk to her BFF to see if he has any ideas? He has become a very good friend of mine too. Help, guys. You have a gut feeling. That's enough to ask the question. Mention what you've noticed. Gauge her reaction. Surely you know your partner well enough to tell if she sues. Go from there. I would tell your girlfriend to hand over the phone. People say it's none of someone's business. But if this is making you comfortable, I can't see why she would not show you their chat. She shouldn't have anything to hide anyway. I don't care what people say. If I have a feeling my girlfriend is cheating on me, I will ask. If they say no or bring up it's their private thing, I don't hesitate to break up. If she doesn't want to comfort me in my thinking something is going on, I don't see a future with that person, sorry. Stop being afraid of the confrontation. You weren't the one whose behavior changed drastically. You aren't the one hiding your phone screen and taking it everywhere. Tell her about her behavioral changes, and if you want to see her phone, then ask for it while she's using it. If she says no, then you act accordingly. Hoping never did shit, it's just inaction and you feeling worse. Better to just do it than keep living with the fear of it. I've never regretted ending a relationship with a cheater or someone that didn't respect my boundaries. It led me to the greatest marriage. I wouldn't hesitate to end this relationship and let that guy have her. Keep looking for your future wife. Your GF wife is cheating and you want to let it go. TBH, with a guy feeling as strong as this and this much evidence, I would snoop. You do not need proof, just tell her to knock it off or leave. This is your boundary, and if this guy is messing with your relationship, he is absolutely not your friend. She is not acting like a girlfriend. Be prepared for her to insult you and call you a lot of things. Cheaters always do that. If she doesn't and takes initiative to make you comfortable, then you can consider staying. But I guarantee you that she will lie and gaslight you. There are no real options unless she makes the effort, and your comment on her having a new boyfriend brought out the wrong reaction. It means she would rather damage what she has with you than to correct her own actions. Personally, I would end it now. She has already infused her emotional DNA with the cheater's gene. Bro. My old lady hates video games. If all of a sudden she just took up playing video games because some dude she met at the gym does, I know that there's a problem. Not to mention the other changes in behavior. Talk to her.